Hi everyone, this is Chad from Home Painters Pro, and today I'll be answering what is the cost of painting one bedroom condo GTA Toronto. So, what's the cost? So let's start with the walls. Before I start with the walls, I have to know what type of paint you would like to use, right? So uh, there's a budget paint and high-end paint and basically regular paint. We generally use Benjamin paints, and they're all good, and they have different purposes, right? High-end paint generally has more pigments in it. So if you have vibrant colors that you want in your home, in your condo, then we always recommend Benjamin Aura. But the if you're renting it, budget paint would be like Ultra Spec, Benjamin Ultra Spec, which has less shine and but still washable. And I have clients that use it in their homes and for over 10 years and they still look good. And so basically, uh, color, the type of paint you want to use really depends on how you use it, right? Uh, the budget between the budget paint and a really high-end paint is that if the tenant is if the tenant is assuming barbecuing in the kitchen, you're not going to get a really good results, right? It's not going to be a really long-lasting paint job. But the uh, same thing goes with the smoking, right? If you're smoking in a condo, doors and windows closed, and heavily smoking, you're going to build up nicotine that over time it kind of yellows. So the paint color will change regardless of the type of paint you use. So Benjamin Aura has a color lock technology. However, you're just basically painting with a smoke on top of it. So you're not gonna get any benefits from it, right? So, and the same thing goes with the rental units. When you're renting a unit, and if it's if you don't know the tenant behavior, then it's really hard to determine the type, right? But generally, we suggest you use the budget paint, which is still washable and almost half the price of the high end paint. So therefore, that's the number one question. Then, how high is the ceilings, right? Ceilings generally typical Toronto condo is like 8-9 feet, and 8-9 feet is norm. But if you have like 10, 11, 12, then the prices increase. Then the condition of the walls. Some tenants they use their walls as bulletin board, and they got like staples and holes everywhere, and so the condition of the walls is kind of matters, and also the existing color to what's the existing color. The If you're going from assuming dark brown to white, then we might have to prime it. That's a different factor. Then ceilings. Is it smooth ceiling or is it smooth ceiling? If not, if it's stucco ceiling, has it been painted before? Because if the stucco ceiling hasn't been painted before, is we have to oil prime it. Meanwhile, we have to cover almost every inch of your condo, So, because uh, stucco ceiling tend to fall, so everything needs to be covered really, really well. Kitchen cabinets, floors, almost everything. Especially if it's furnished, then even the furniture has to be covered really well with plastic. Like we do covering of the floors and everything. However, when it comes to oil priming, every inch of it has to be covered. So no paint splashes anywhere, right? And then we got doors and frames and baseboards. So a number of doors, frames matters. So how many doors, how many frames? The baseboards generally we could estimate by the square footage how much baseboards you have. But the doors and frames kind of varies. Like 500 square foot. If a client calls me and tells me they have 500 square foot, I know roughly that they have two to three doors, right? However, when it comes to 700 square feet, and sometimes uh, we cannot estimate it how many doors you have. So that's important as well, and that's another cost factor. And then how many bathrooms you have? Like a 500 square foot condo has one bathroom for sure, but when you go over 600 square foot, you could have up to two bathrooms. So that's a factor. And closets. Some condos they have one closet, one big closet, and some condos they have mini two closets per room. So that's another factor, right? So from all this information, basically, if you call me up and ask me for a price, these are the questions I will ask, right? And assuming you have 500 square foot condo, right? With ceilings, with trims, with doors, roughly will be around $1,600. That will include the paint, like budget paint, then prep, two coats covering all the floors and everything. So that will include like cleanup afterwards. The cleanup means that we will leave it as we find it. It's not going to be like cleaned like a professional cleaner. It will be clean that you won't have any dust or paint or anything on the floor. It will be like we will sweep the floor. We will do everything like the drop cloths and covering paper does already protect the floor. However, there will be some dust that we will pick up, and we will take the garbage away and everything. So at the end of the day, your place will be looking great. However, one bedroom condo generally takes 1 day, and if there's a lot of drywall repairs, some dust might settle afterwards. So some dust, you might see some dust next day. So in most cases, we generally, when the unit is empty, we generally ask the client not to clean or call a cleaner the day we finish or something. That way, they have the dust the cleaner could pick up the dust easily, right? So some tips that you could use for saving money on condo painting are uh, January 1st to March 15, you'll have the best prices ever with almost every company in GTA. That's when almost everybody's slow. Doesn't mean that everyone isn't working, but they are not working fully. And even in my case, I like to keep my guys working. So, we do big discounts in winter. So, but this doesn't apply to everybody. And same thing goes with if you're in March 15 or like later on, you could always negotiate, right? We're here to always, get more jobs. Uh, you know, Try to negotiate with the painter, right? So almost all family-based, family-owned companies, they're open to uh, negotiate. However, underballing is not a good idea, right? Underballing is not a good idea, so keep that in mind. And that's about it. Let me know when you have a next condo project. Take care of yourself.